amount of obstacles they have to go through are much less than a trial jury, which has to be a unanimous verdict. So we have just today hung Gautam Adani based on some media reports and some toolkit working, Arnab.
Yeah, but this is really dangerous. Second, I personally don't think this is going to work. But the question is why, why the politics over it? It's a matter of great concern for me. I've always said it. A short-term benefit, long-term loss for the country, short-term benefit for you, Tanvir, for you, Polarao, a moment of happiness that Adani is seen to be close to the Indian government is being targeted by the Americans. You should be unhappy about it. I mean, do you think the Americans would have celebrated if, for example, if the Indian government, had prosecuted Elon Musk for any potential violations of Indian law? Do you think the Americans would be celebrating? They wouldn't. But this is the problem with our politicians. Yes, Tanvir.
Arnab, absolutely unhappy, because we need to really understand India, which is going to become a 5 trillion economy. If people like this really comes out and who are caught every time, he is a blue-eyed boy of one political party. Let's really not name it. But why is he involved when we are talking about what is happening in
He does a lot of business in West Bengal. Name it.
Let's finish.
He does a lot of business in Andhra Pradesh.
Arnab,
he has done a lot of business with YSRCP.
West Bengal is not outside India. Arnab, if at all he is using his illegitimate money to make money, I don't think India definitely needs Mr. Adani's money. India is rich enough to really grow on its own with legitimate money. Why is there, Mr. Narayana Murthy is there in business for last 50 years? Why is not anybody has spoken one word about him? Tatas are there in this business. Why America or Britain has not spoken about him? Why is Mr. Gautam Adani, who suddenly rose to such high number?
PK Basu countering you there because we get a point. You get a point.
Yes, PK Basu
the point made by Tanvir is
let's really draw a line.
Tanvir, the point that you made there is why has Narayan Murthy never been indicted in America, and why has Gautam Adani been indicted in America? Because you want to make it. I hope, Mr. Narayan Murthy, you don't think I'm rude, but Narayan Murthy does not constitute a threat to the American economy or the American deep state or America's business interests. Mr. Narayan Murthy is a completely different line of business. Mr. Narayan Murthy is not going and taking over airports and doing deals in Kenya and Australia. Please understand what you're talking about. PK can answer the PK. PK, where does the deep state interest get hit here?
Well, you see, the basic thing is that Adani is creating infrastructure, not only in India, but he's doing it in Australia, in Kenya. He's competing against the likes of Bechtel Corporation and other major American corporations. He therefore represents a threat to not only American corporations, but the deep state. So if you look at something like, for instance, the software companies. The software companies provide a cheap resource to the American state, to the American people. They are not threatened. There are no American software providers that compete against Infosys or...
You are just trying to create TCS. One conspiracy theory, Mr. PK Basu.
Thing about
this is just a pure conspiracy theory which you're speaking about. I don't think we need to really... We don't think we need to really speak about a conspiracy theory. India and America has been really working for a very long time.
The interesting theory is
America has been a partner of
India
towards growth, whether it is banking sector or infrastructure. Let's really not say this.
The new president comes into office. The new president is going to come into office 2 months from now. And during this 2-month period, the outgoing Biden administration is trying to do as much as possible to make trouble around the world.
No, you see, the way things work globally is that there is America would be looking at every lever to pressurize Adani and India now for one immediate trigger. And I want to refer to it before I go to other panelists. You know what happened in Bangladesh Bangladesh can't pay its power bills. Adani put pressure on them. The Bangladeshis can't even pay 1/4 of the pending power bills. They asked the government of India to say, can you put pressure on Adani?